Awesome, yeah. So there's so much, but I'll try and keep this one short. I'm going to break it down into you as the founder, into your people, into your practice. So you as founder, the most important thing is look after yourself. Pace yourself. You know, we grow up in this hurry and hustle culture. Where the whole world is just in a massive hurry. And if you actually go look at productivity studies, working 16, 17, 18 hours a week, a day, 100-hour work weeks, it doesn't translate into much more productivity than someone working a 50-hour work week. So, you should really plan your time. Time management for yourself is so important. You need to understand what you're going to say yes to, what you're going to say no to. You can't say yes to everything, and you can't dance at all the parties. So otherwise, you're going to burn out. So you really need to identify what's the lowest hanging fruit that's going to multiply into the most amount of revenue. That is your goal as a startup founder, even as let's say, someone innovating in an organization, or even if you're a CEO, right? If you're spending any time on something that anybody else in your organization can spend on, you're wasting your time. So what is the 6% that you can add to your organization that's going to drive 64% of performance? And that's the stuff you focus on first thing in the morning, right? Going into a sequence of, like, let's say, personal development. Morning routine really changed my life. So I wake up in the morning, let's say around 6, 2 glasses of water. If you think about what your body needs, you need oxygen, you need water, and you need energy, right? So we wake up, and basically, if you think of as the human as a machine, if we don't give the machine the petrol and the oil that it needs, you're going to burn out. So if you can sustainably nurture yourself and look after yourself, you're going to do well. So at least look after the engine so you can keep on driving. So 2 glasses of water. Then I go and I say, earn your breakfast. Sweat, because that sweat and the heart, the blood pumping through your body that creates oxygen. Your brain is now, if you want to read an amazing book on this, Spark by John Ratey, basically uncovers why is exercise good for you and what it actually does to the brain. And it's remarkable. So now your brain becomes like a field of flowers that's just ready to pick up, information. And literally by moving your most difficult things, the biggest frogs you need to eat that day first, you increase retention by 50% by just doing that practice, right? So now we've trained. So we've drank 2 glasses of water. I've trained, so I do 200 burpees in 23 minutes when I wake up first thing. And then you hit a cold shower. And that's possibly the most difficult part of my day. If you can overcome a cold shower every single morning, you can overcome anything that's coming your way, right? And show me someone that steps out of a cold shower that still says, geez, I'm quite sleepy. It doesn't happen. So that really changed my life in terms of productivity, and now I know exactly what my day holds for me. I know exactly what I'm going to nail first. Now I've sorted out myself. So person, then we look at let's say people, the company. You are the aspirational leader, right? If you are solving something that's difficult, it means if you're 2021 now, it means that it's been around for such a long time that no one else has solved it. And there's a reason someone hasn't solved it, because it's probably bloody difficult to solve. That means if you're constantly solving difficult things, your team is going to be under stress, they're going to be overwhelmed, they're going to be overburdened most of your life cycle. If you don't manage that, your team is going to burn out, your company is going to fail. So you really need to nurture your people. You really need to look after them. So culture, everybody says culture eats strategy for breakfast. Culture is driven by your values. And if you don't have core values and sound values that you as a founder live out in your company, your people are going to pick that up and they're not going to be inspired. Your goal is to inspire your team. Your goal is not to be the most important person in the room. Your goal is to multiply the most important people around you so they can drive your business. Otherwise, you're going to build the organization around you and you probably will fail. And then looking after processes, implementing automation. Software like ClickUp. ClickUp is for free mostly. It takes Trello, Monday, all your organizational planning into one sweet spot. Implementing tools like that, I always say to my team, email is confirmation, and let's say Yammer or Slack or whatever is communication. So sorting out those operational niggles in your business, understanding standard operating procedures, understanding exactly what your process flow is. If a new client comes in, what do we do? And how can we scale that and automate that and create a playbook for that so that you can work yourself out of a job? That is essentially the most important thing. So that if your organization revolves around you and you have to get hit by a bus, what will happen? So if you think about it as a circle, right? I'm a founder alone, and after a while, I build up a nice team, maybe friends, fools, family, and then that team grows, and it's like a little spider diagram with me in the middle. And then later on in the cycle, it becomes a circle with you part of the circle, and then later on, you want to close the circle with you outside of the circle. then you've got sustainability. So go towards that over time and draw that diagram constantly over time to understand where in that process are you and what's the next step you need to do as a founder to get yourself out of the circle so that you can close that circle so your organization can grow sustainably without your input.